Hi there, you're watching Buy Now Sell Now with me Shreyanshi Singh and with me is Somi Sarkar, and over the next 1 hour we'll answer all your stock related queries with our experts from both a technical as well as fundamental perspective. With first things first, let's take a look at what the markets are doing. And firstly, when you take a look at Nifty holding on to that flat line after that muted start coming in is what the Nifty is doing. When you take a look at sectorally, you've got the pharma pack that's doing quite well. So Sun Pharma is doing well for itself. You do have Cipla as well as Divi's Labs also holding quite well. Also, you also have the FMCG pack that's doing quite well for itself as well. So be it a Nestle, HUL or an ITC, you've got good moves coming in there as well. On the flip side, sectorally, when you take a look at media as well as energy, that is where you're seeing these indices on the back foot as well. When you take a look at Nifty PSU Bank though, that is the one that is not doing too well at the same time as well. And when you take a look at the auto pack, that is also rather subdued. Hero Moto is the one that is holding up quite well when you take a look at the auto pack as well. But when you talk about the losers in trade, there's a long list there. So you've got stocks across sectors there as well. So when you take a look at Bajaj Finance, BPCL, Adani Ports, Adani Enterprises, these are the counters that are making it to that list. So you've got JSW Steel as well from the metals pack as well. That is on the back foot. And when you take a look at heavyweight Reliance as well, what you're seeing there as well is that that one also is not doing quite well for itself. At this point, a rather subdued move coming in for heavyweight Reliance as well. And there's also a lot of counters on the back foot, couple of those banking counters. So I'm talking about IndusInd Bank or even SBI, even ICICI Bank, Somit, is quite on the back foot at this point. So that is how the market is shaping up.
Well, moving on, Bajaj Finance is one stock that would remain in focus because Bajaj Housing Finance has come out with its IPO price band, 66 to 70 rupees. What are the terms of the IPO and when is the IPO starting and how does it stand amongst its peer? We have Varun joining us to give us all those details.
So the much awaited IPO of Bajaj Group, Bajaj Housing Finance, is about to hit the market. The IPO will open on 9th of September and will close on 11th of September. The company is raising 6,560 crores from this IPO, out of which 3,560 crores is fresh issue and around 3,000 crores is OFS. The price band for this IPO is Rs 66 to Rs 70, and at the upper price band, the market cap of this company would be 58,300 crores. If you look at valuation, FY26 price to book value for Bajaj Housing Finance is around 3.2. The industry average is around 3.1, so the valuations are almost at par with the industry. The company has delivered good growth past 5 years. AUM CAGR, if you look, it is around 29%, although the NIMs are on the lower end of the industry. So this is a much awaited IPO, which is also going to have shareholders quota for Bajaj Housing, for Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finserv as well. So the much awaited IPO is about to hit the market, and there is a lot to cheer for the shareholders as well.
All right, thanks Varun for that roundup coming in. But before we start taking your stock related queries, then remember you can write to us on the WhatsApp number flashing on the top of your screen. Also, when you write to us, do mention the buy price of the stock that you've purchased the stock at, as well as for fresh investment ideas. Also do mention the investment horizon that you have in mind. But time now to take a look at the queries that we have pouring in from our investors, for our experts as well. We have Dhwani Patel, founder of Finversify, joining us, and we also have Rajesh Agarwal, head of research at AUM Capital, also standing by. Dhwani, I'm going to come to you for the first query then. There's an investor who's bought 1,000 shares of HDFC Bank, and the buy price that they've mentioned is 1,590 rupees. They're looking for a recommendation in terms of whether they should hold the counter or sell. So what is your recommendation there?
First of all, good morning, everyone. And talking about HDFC Bank, definitely it's been a laggard performer when we are talking about the banking pack as a whole. But overall, the support level the stock is maintaining is around 1610 levels, where we are not seeing any breakdowns coming in from there. 1610, 1600 is holding out strong for this particular counter. So in my suggestion, one should hold on to it and keep a stop loss around the same level. I would suggest that the exit in this particular counter on the short-term basis can be taken around 1700 levels. But positionally, given we close above 1700, I do see that next up move on the stock is expected around 1720. But as it's a laggard performer, so I would suggest that keep a strict stop loss at 1600.
It's from Jennifer from Chennai, and she wants to know whether she can invest in Geo Financial Services for long term. Rajesh, what would be your view here?
Good morning, Shomil. Good morning, Shranshri. Good morning, Dhwani. Geofinance, it's a very good long-term holding, I would say. If you are willing to stay put with the stock for next 3-4 years, at a stretch, this stock can give you very good returns. The company has made tie-ups with BlackRock for mutual funds, for wealth management and stock broking and all those things. They are trying to move into insurance. There are big names on the helms like Charanjit Singh Anthra and all. They have almost 6% equity of Reliance in their portfolio. So all things are good for this. At this point of time, yes, there is no business as such. But going forward with the kind of plan this company has, I think this can give you very good return. So what I would suggest is go for a SIP mode in this stock and stay invested for a long term.
Thanks, Rajesh, for that take coming in. So SIP with Geo Financial Services is what Rajesh is suggesting. But Dhwani, I'm going to come back to you. There's an investor, B. Soumya from Chennai, who's asking about a counter GNFC, and the buy price that she has is 689 when it comes to GNFC, and she also has TTML at 90 rupees as well. So should she continue to hold or exit at the current levels for a short-term holding period then?
GNFC in today's session definitely is facing certain, downside, but then overall the momentum is on the positive side. In fact, 2 days back, the stock has crossed above its all short-term and long-term moving averages, and it's trailing on the higher side. So in my suggestion, she can hold on to it, keep a stop loss on the lower side over here in this counter at around 675 levels. Any break under that would result into certain profit taking coming in, but till the time this level is hold on to 750 is the next target that can be expected on this one on the short term basis. Talking about TTML is the next counter, right?
Yes, that's right, Dhwani. TTML at
Yeah.
90 rupees is what her buy price was.
So obviously the stock is trading higher than her buy price, and there is a support level also which it is showing around 92 levels now. So in my suggestion, hold on to it. Given the stock gives a closing above the range of 100, we will see further upside momentum continuing till 110, which was the previous swing high. So both the counters are good. Hold on to it. Maintain the stop losses as suggested.
The next query is from N. Ramesh from Hyderabad. He's a senior citizen. He's holding 15 shares of Divi's Lab bought at a price of 4,004 rupees per share. 100 shares of IGL bought at a price of 438 rupees per share. He wants to know what are the future prospects of these companies and can he continue to hold both these counters for long term or should he book profits? Mr. Rajesh, what would be your view here?
I think both are a good hold at this point of time. Coming one by one, Divi's Lab has been underperforming from since quite a very long period of time. Not only Divi's, the entire API space has been underperforming, but going forward, I think all the negatives has been discounted. It's already bottoming out, and going forward, it can give very good returns from these places. So these levels. So I think one can even add at these levels. As far as IGL is concerned, the numbers have been pretty good with the government's focus on pipelines and CNG, LNG. I think this company is also going to do well. But you're seeing the kind of run-up itself seen in the recent past, I think some amount of consolidation is due. But for a longer-term horizon, maybe 9 to 12 months down the line, 15% upside from these levels is quite possible.
All right, thanks, Rajesh, for that view coming in there. But we also have one investor who's asking about IEX as well as Castrol. We have Leena from Mumbai, and she's looking to understand if she can buy at current levels and what can also be her target for the 6 to 9 months, Dhwani. Dhwani?
But IEX first over here in this particular counter, definitely we are seeing the momentum going on the higher side, but on the higher side, we are also seeing a resistance at around 210 levels. So in my suggestion, IEX is not a good time to enter it. Given we get a breakout about 210, then it's good one to enter into that one. Talking about Castrol, definitely I would suggest entering into this one. So it's a buy coming in on Castrol from the current levels. It is going to be a short-term trade over here where one needs to maintain a stop loss on the lower side of 260, and we'll expect a swing high coming in and going on to 290 levels.
Well, the next query is coming in from Akshay from Bangalore. He has three large cap banks in his portfolios, that is HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank and SBI. But he wants to sell one of them and add IDFC First for long term. Rajesh, what would be your view here? Which one should he sell and add IDFC First Bank out of HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank and SBI?
I think it's there's no point in switching to IDFC Bank selling all these three large cap names because all those three are working better than what IDFC is trying to do. Yes, IDFC has given good numbers in the recent past. The last 2-3 quarters have been good. The management has come on board saying that performance would be even better. But I think all the positives have already been discounted, and going upside from these levels would be a tough task unless until some phenomenal numbers or some corporate action is announced. So it's better to stay put with these three banks at this point of time.
All right, so that's the take coming in there. But we also have Akhil from Delhi who's writing to us about Tata Power. He has 1,850 shares that he purchased at a price of 218 rupees Dhwani. And he's asking whether he can add more at the current price or should he wait a little more. So what's your take coming in there?
If he's looking out to average, then definitely yes. This is the time that one can average out in this particular counter. The stock already has been trading higher on the lower time frames over here. If you're seeing a 30-minute chart, the bottom formation happened around 403 levels from where we are seeing the reversal coming in, and on daily chart structures as well, short-term moving averages, we've crossed above that and closing above the same since last 5 sessions. So yes, averaging makes sense over here. Stop loss that I would suggest for anyone to keep it on in this particular counter would be around 420 levels. And I'm expecting that the price swing high of next that should come over here is of 465.
Okay, the next query is from Rajesh, and he's holding IRCTC, bought at a price of 814. He wants to know whether should he reinvest his money in Geo Financial or any other NBFC stock going forward. Rajesh, the query is actually for you, and it's from Kaushik Mitra from Mumbai. What would be your view here?
See, all the three stocks are good, I would say. IRCTC is doing very well. All the divisions, be it ticketing, water, catering, or tourism, have been doing very well. It's almost monopoly business in ticketing and rail need, that's the water business. And they're expanding their capacity in water. The numbers have been good. Valuations are okay. Debt-free company. You can continue to hold IRCTC. As far as putting money into new NBFCs, I think Geo and Bajaj Finserv, these are two good NBFCs at this point of time, which are doing very well. Geo, as we discussed, has been going to do well in the next 4-5 years if your holding period. As far as Bajaj Finserv is concerned, they have a holding in almost 51-52% holding in Bajaj Finance. They have holding in Bajaj Home Finance, for which the IPO is on the annual. Almost 74% holding in both the insurance venture, be it general or life, and everything is doing well. NIMs are good, asset quality is good. I think these two are the good NBFC stock to put new money and hold on IRCTC.
Right, so there you have it. That's the view coming in on Bajaj Finserv as well. The next query is coming in from Shiva from Chennai, and they have a short-term query on Adani Ports. 400 shares is what they purchased at a price of 1,504 Dhwani. In terms of a 3-month view, what kind of targets are you expecting there then?
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely did see certain, downfall coming in this particular counter, and there's a support level that I see over here that is forming over here around 1460 levels to 1455 levels on short-term basis. So that's a suggested stop loss with which one can hold on to it. We'll see a bounce coming in this particular counter till 1570 levels.
Thanks, Dhwani, for that take coming in. Well, we also have an investor who's asking about Vodafone Idea, 1,000 shares. Is it the right time to go on to hold it, or do you need to sell as of now? So, Dhwani, what is your view coming in there as well then?
So Vodafone Idea, definitely, I mean, it's one of the stocks that many would have into their holdings over here. I would suggest for any fresh buying that is done in the past 1.5 months, the stop loss for that comes around 14 rupees over here. Given that breaks down, we'll see further sell-off coming in. But for any short-term buying that is there, we'll see a bounce coming in till 17 levels again. So 14 is the stop loss that one needs to maintain, and 17 is the exit price for this one.
Thank you so much, Dhwani, for that update coming in. So there you have it, Vodafone Idea, and that's the buy price. So that answers your question there. But first step toward giving the right nutrition to your portfolios by having the right kind of insurance, life, health, motor, home. One needs to prepare against all kinds of financial liabilities by having the right kind of risk cover as well. On the Money Show today, we will be focusing on the right portion of insurance for your portfolio. So stay tuned for all of that. But time now for a quick break right here on Buy Now Sell Now. Stay tuned because we'll be taking many more of your queries on the other side as well. Remember to write to us on the number flashing on the top of your screen.
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now Sell Now. Let's get started with the queries again. The next query is coming from Akshay from Mumbai. He's a long-term investor holding 17 shares of LTI Mindtree, bought at a price of 4,884, and around 21 shares of Persistent System, bought at a price of 3,481 rupees. Should he continue to hold or exit both these counters? Dhwani, what would be your view on both these IT stocks?
Yeah, definitely. LTI Mindtree is one that he must hold on to. Recently, also the stock has given a breakout over 5,840 levels, and from there we are trading high up over here. And on short-term basis, definitely 6,500 is the next swing high that is expected over here. Stop loss that one needs to maintain over here. On the lower side, given a short-term view over here is going to be of 5,920. And talking about Persistent as well, it's a whole recommendation on the same as well. We've definitely seen an upward move continuation in this particular counter. As per the trend continuation, I see that the next highs that this stock should make over here is of 59.20 to 6,000 levels. So it's a hold coming in on Persistent System as well. Stop loss that one needs to maintain over here is going to be of 5,025.
It's a hold coming in on Persistent Systems right there, but we have another viewer named Nishi who's writing to us from Bengaluru, Rajesh, and she has Kotak Mahindra Bank that she's been holding for quite some time. Her buy price was 1,800. Shall she hold the stock or sell or buy something else? And also she's looking for fresh investment ideas when it comes to the banking pack. So anything that you're looking at?
See, if it's a long-term holding, continue to hold. It has underperformed the market from a quite long period of time, but then Bank Nifty has also underperformed. So that's the reason I think this bank has underperformed. Otherwise, the negatives or the concerns about the management change and all has been taken care of. The subsidiaries are doing well. The numbers have been good. Asset quality is good. One can continue with Kotak Mahindra Bank. As far as new investments are concerned, I think in the banking space, you said, right?
Correct. In the banking pack. Yes.
Right. The other bank which we like at this point of time is HDFC Bank. After the merger, it has done nothing at all. But considering the fact that it is one of the 6 largest bank in the world with a large portfolio, large book, the asset quality is good. Yes, the NIMs have been under pressure, but that's an industry-wide thing. And once the interest rate starts being cut off, I think banks are going to see good traction. And not to forget, the valuations are very good at this point of time. Asset quality is very good. They are doing very well. I think HDFC Bank can be a long-term pick.
Well, the next query is from Thomas George from Kerala. He's holding 9 shares of Mazgaon Dock, bought at a price of 5,023 rupees. He wants to know whether should he continue to hold this counter for long-term or book losses here. Rajesh, what would be your view here for Mazgaon Dock?
See, the entire shipping, defense shipping space, I would say, Mazgaon, Cochin, GRSC has underperformed. So in a consolidation or a correction in the recent past, I would say. But I think for a long-term horizon, these companies are going to do well. The order book is swelling with the government's focus on indiation of defense and all. I think these stocks can give good return. The correction had just happened because they have seen quite a lot of run up from almost 5 times, 6 times from their lows. So it's better to hold for a long term.
All right, thanks Rajesh for that take coming in on Mazgaon Dock as well. We have Raghavendra who's writing to us from Kurnool, Dhwani, and they're asking about 40 shares of Tata Motors that they purchased at a price of 800 rupees. So can you let them know about some kind of targets that they can keep for Tata Motors then?
Absolutely. First of all, congratulations for the profit to them. And I would suggest hold on to this counter. Keep a stop loss on the lower side on a short-term basis around 1040 levels. And on the higher side, we can expect that the stock would give a move around 1180 levels. So definitely the structure is on the bullish side. In the past few days, we are seeing some sluggish momentum coming in over here. But then volumes are something that talk about that the volumes are participation is good over here into this counter. So stop loss on the lower side at 1040 for a target on the higher side at 1180.
The next query is from Akshay from Bangalore. He's holding 200 shares of SBI card since 2020. He's currently sitting on a loss of around 6%. Should he book his loss, or can he continue to hold this counter for another for long term? Mr. Rajesh, what would be your view here?
Continue to hold. The card spends has been going up. It's the only listed card player in the entire space. It has underperformed in the recent past, but I think seeing the kind of card spend going up, I think a target of 840, 850 is quite possible in the next 6 months.
All right, thanks Rajesh for that view coming in there. We also have an investor who's writing to us about Laurus Labs that they purchased 130 shares of Dhwani at a buy price of 412 rupees, but they're looking to understand if they can sell this and buy Dr. Reddy's Labs or Zydus Life Sciences to sort of make up for this. So what is the view that you have here for Laurus Labs?
Has been testing patients over here, and that's the reason why one is looking up to switch over. But in my suggestion, Laurus Lab is much stable as a chart structure when you're looking up at the weekly structure of the same. So I would not suggest a switch over in this scenario. Hold on to Laurus Labs. On the lower side, maintain a stop loss over here around 440 levels. On the higher side, the first target that I'm looking up at is 500. Given a close above 500, you can also expect a swing high coming till 540 levels in this one for a period of 3 to 4 months.
The next query is from Abhinandan from Bangalore again. He has 1,000 shares of Paytm bought at a price of 940 rupees. Currently, obviously, he's sitting on a loss. He wants to know whether should he average this counter here or continue to hold, Mr. Rajesh?
Which stock you said?
Paytm.
Paytm, right. This is I think one should try to exit at higher levels. This has recovered from the recent lows, but the fact of the matter remains that the company is still into losses. Last quarter, the loss was around 870 odd crores. And I don't find any reason to believe that the numbers are going to be positive in the near future. There are news that they might get the payment bank license again and something of that sort, but still the fact remains the company is into losses. It's better to get out of this.
Suggestion to exit coming in there on Paytm from Rajesh, but I'm going to come back to you, Dhwani. Arjun is writing to us from Mysore, and he has 200 shares of Petronet at a price of 370 that he purchased. He's looking to understand if he can hold or sell.
In my suggestion, Petronet is a sell over here for the reason being on the daily structures, the stock has crossed below its short-term moving averages. A fall is still expected over here. The next support level for this particular counter comes around 345 levels. So there would be further cut coming in. So it's an exit from my side.
The next query is coming in from Vincent. He wants to know whether should he do an SIP investment for 3 years on Bajaj Finserv and HDFC Bank. Rajesh, would you suggest to do an SIP on Bajaj Finserv and HDFC Bank for 3 years?
Yes, of course, both are right choices. As we discussed sometimes back, Bajaj Finserv is a holding company of Bajaj Financial gamut, I would say. They hold in Bajaj Finance, Bajaj Insurance Ventures, Housing Finance, everything is going well. And as far as the HDFC Bank is concerned, after the merger, it has become the 6th largest bank in this space. We expect HDFC Bank to report a profit of around 80,000 odd crores next year. So I think the valuations are also very good. Both of them can be considered for a long-term SIP.
All right, thanks Rajesh for that opinion coming in there. We also have a query from Nagraj here, and he's a regular viewer of the show, and he's asking Dhwani which sector is good to invest in the short term, as well as if you can mention some stocks as well for him.
So, like when we're talking about short term, definitely there is a certain sector rotation we are seeing in over here. Given the kind of attraction that is coming in towards the ITS today in the morning trade, we did see certain small cap IT names picking up over here. So on short term basis, one can look up at counter like Birla Soft, where on the short term basis, I do see that an upward swing momentum trade can be taken up over here. One can buy in into that one, keeping a stop loss on the lower side at 650 and expecting target over here around 730 levels.
Next query is from Anup Sardesai from Goa. He wants to know whether should he buy Reliance Industries at current levels or wait till after the bonus. Rajesh, will it make any difference?
I don't think it makes much of a difference. We can continue to hold Reliance for a long period of time. By long period of time, I mean if you want to hold the stock for 3-5 years also, that's very good because yes, the board meeting is due for bonus and all, but that doesn't make any difference in the valuation. So, the two major triggers in the stock is Jio and Reliance Retail. Whenever a demerger or a listing of those are announced, that would be a major trigger. Other than that, also, if you look at OTC business is doing very well. So I think it's a long-term hold for Reliance. So don't wait for 25, 50 rupees correction or something of that sort. If you're looking for a long-term holding, it's a buy.
Long-term hold coming in as far as Reliance is concerned, and that's the view coming in from Rajesh. But time for a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue taking all of your queries, so stay tuned.
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now Sell Now. Let's get on with the queries. The next query is from Nivedita from Hyderabad. She is holding Bajaj Finance at a price of 7,234, Adani Green at a price of 2,004 rupees, and she is holding both these counters for the last 1 year. Should she continue to hold both the counters or sell and exit and get out of this? What is the outlook for both these counters, Rajesh?
See, as far as Adani Green is concerned, if you are a short-term or a medium-term investor, I think booking profit at this point of time would be a better idea. You can re-enter at lower levels considering the fact that the valuations are stretched. Otherwise, the fundamentals are sound. Only on the valuation part we are concerned. As far as Bajaj Finance is concerned, one can even add at these levels for a long-term horizon. The numbers have been good. AUM has been increasing. And IMs have been good. Asset quality has improved. I think this is a good hold for a long term.
Good hold for a long term, and that's the view coming in from for Bajaj Finance from Rajesh. But Rajesh, I'm going to come back to you. We have a viewer named Chandan writing to us from Mysore, and they bought Gujarat Gas in 2020 at a price of about 645. They have 150 shares, and they're wondering because they've not seen a lot of growth coming in for the counter, so they're wondering if they should be selling or holding at this point.
At this point of time, booking profit would be a prudent idea, I suppose. One can book profit at these levels and maybe move to OMC companies which are better footed than what Gujarat Gas is.
The next query is from Vishwanath Nair from Cochin. He wants to know should he sell 100 shares of Poonawalla bought at a price of 378 and buy Hudco. Dhwani, what would be your view here?
I would suggest holding on to Poonawalla for another couple of days, given that the stock is taking a support around 385 levels, which was also a breakout earlier. So hold on to it. The exit is suggested around 415 levels in Poonawalla, and Hudco. For now, I would say it's an avoid, given that the stock is trading in a downward trajectory and also crossed below its short-term moving averages. Further cut in this one can be expected till the level of 260. So Hudco is an avoid and Poonawalla is an hold from my side.
All right, Hudco and avoid and Poonawalla hold from Dhwani's side. But let's also take a query coming in from a viewer named Anand from Mysore. He's writing to us about Canara Bank, Rajesh, and he's asking about his buy price at 115 rupees, and he wants to know if he should hold at this point. What is your recommendation here?
See, one can continue to hold. If the time is not a concern, I think one can continue to hold. We believe going forward, banking sector is going to do well, take the lead, especially the public sector bank space, which is highly undervalued when compared to the private sector bank. the asset quality of almost all the banks has been improving. Balance sheet has been cleaned. I think Canara Bank is a good hold for a long term.
Next query is from KVS Money from Bangalore. He's holding 100 shares of Bharat Dynamic, bought at a price of 1,530. Should he continue to hold or exit this counter, Dhwani?
I would suggest an exit in this particular counter for the reason that on a shorter time frame, the stock is not doing well, as well as I do see that the price action is suggesting a supply coming in constantly on the higher side from 1400 levels over here. So it's an exit coming in. The downfall in this particular counter would continue till 1200.
All right, so that's a sell coming in on Bharat Dynamics, but I'm going to come back to you, Dhwani, and this is Smita Vikram, who's writing to us from Bangalore. She's invested in Raymond for a period of 3 to 6 months at a price of 2016. So what is your recommendation coming in there? And she also wants to know a target price as well.
On the short-term basis, definitely in today's session also we are seeing a certain bounce of 5% coming in this particular counter. On shorter time frame, the stock has definitely made a base formation around 1850 levels. So hold on to this one. And on the higher side, I'm expecting a target at 2400 for the next couple of days.
The next query is coming in from Tushar from Delhi. He's asking, given the strong momentum that he's seeing in pharma stocks and the better earnings, Rajesh, could you suggest which pharma stock would be good at current levels, Glenmark Pharma or Lupin or any other pharma stock that you would suggest?
See, looking at the kind of movement Nifty Pharma is showing, I think there are a lot of steam left going forward, and a lot of names come to our mind. But if I have to suggest one or two, I think Cipla, Lupin, Ipca, Glenmark, these are some of the names which one can consider.
We have another viewer writing to us, RK Arora, who's a senior citizen writing to us from Delhi, Rajesh, and he wants to invest in a semiconductor stock for the longer term. Are there any stocks that you have in mind? And he's also looking to understand the levels that you're keeping in mind as well.
There is any bigger semiconductor stocks or some of them which have semiconductor in their portfolio have been doling out any kind of numbers at this point of time, except for some names like Moschip Semiconductors and all. It's better to wait for some more time for some clarity to emerge from the companies before taking a call on these companies, unless and until you are a short-term trader.
Well, that's the view coming in from Rajesh on semiconductor segment. With that, let's slip into a short break and we'll address more of your queries post that.
In association with SBI, Solid Bank की solid backing.
टिप चाहिए, पैसा लगाना है, तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. डूबेगा नहीं, चलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ. सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र.
Gala Precision Engineering Limited launches an initial public offering of equity shares of face value of 10 rupees each through the book building process with a price band of 503 rupees to 529 rupees per equity share. Bid offer opens on Monday, September 2nd and closes on Wednesday, September 4, 2024. For risk factors and more details, please refer to the RHP available on the websites of SEBI, BRLM, stock exchanges and the company.
Eat it on time and please ride the bike slowly.
Okay.
And this is for your safety.
Arey, I almost forgot.
LIC.
This is for our safety. दिल की सुनो.
LIC चलो.
LIC हर पल आपके साथ.
जब वर्ल्ड डेंजर में है, आता है जैवलिन मैन. ये फेंका, ये मारा. जैवलिन मैन. जैवलिन मैन.
इसे एवर रेडी अल्टीमा का लॉन्ग लास्टिंग पावर चाहिए. टॉयज से बच्चों की इमेजिनेशन चलती रहती है, इसलिए इनकी बैटरी चलती रहनी चाहिए. नई एवर रेडी अल्टीमा बैटरी है 400% लॉन्गर लास्टिंग.
The man from Motilal Oswal is back.
I don't give tips, only solid advice.
With his timeless wisdom.
The stock kept plunging, but I kept buying hoping for a recovery.
Sir, trading is T20. Investing is test cricket. Never confuse the two. Never forget the 3 R's of investment. Research, research and
research.
Sir.
The man from Motilal Oswal. Solid research, solid relationships. Before you invest, call us 92345 92345.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
I am the future that was born 100 years ago. I am the purpose that emerged with India's independence to be a force for business that makes doing good our business. Towards an independence where knowledge sets us free. To think big and achieve bigger. Towards a future made perfect. And be a force creating abundance. Because independence is not a moment in history. It's a never-ending path to prosperity. Aditya Birla Group, a force for good.
Come on. Big gya? Out of stock, yeah. Bought it. Yeah, door closing. Bro, great Indian shopping. No, bro. Neo trading.
Real action is happening in the stock markets. Download the Kotak Neo app and start Neo trading. जो तेज हैं, वो आगे हैं. Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying tuned in. Well, a quick note for our viewers before we take the rest of your queries. Remember to write to us on the number flashing on the top of your screen as well. And when you do write to us, do mention the buy price of the stocks that you have purchased. And as well as for fresh investment ideas, also do mention the investment horizon that you have in mind. But the next query that I'm going to ask is about Tata Technologies as well as Nestle, Rajesh. And this is a query coming in from Madhukar from Hyderabad. What kind of targets can you look at in terms of a 2-year time frame is what he's asking.
See, for Tata Technologies, we have a target of almost 1,400 odd rupees in the next 12 to 18 months. 1,400, the stock was recently listed, maybe in, if I'm not wrong, last November it was. And after touching a high of 1,400, it went down and it underperformed quite a lot despite the fact that company fundamentals were good. The company is into auto software. Previously, they were more dependent on Tata Motors. Now they have diversified the client profile and even the product profile. I think Tata Technologies is a good buy at this point of time. So one can even buy at these levels. And what was the other one you said?
The other one that they've asked about is Nestle, Rajesh, for the same time period.
Nestle. Right. Nestle, it's a long-term bet. It's a very good company in the FMCG space, having a good product profile. These kind of companies give you a CAGR of around 15% odd return in the long term. So it's a hold from our side, and Tata Tech is a hold and a buy from our side.
Next query is coming in from Tina, and she's holding ONGC from 77 and NTPC from a price of 214. Rajesh, what would be your view here? Should she book profits at this level because she's been sitting on a massive profit when it comes to ONGC at least and both NTPC? Should she continue to hold both the counters or exit?
I think partial profit booking would be advised because, as you said, they are sitting on a good amount of profit. The stocks have seen quite a run up in the recent past. Partial profit at these levels and re-entering at lower levels would be a better strategy. Because both of the companies are very good. NTPC has a good, huge capacity of power, doing very well as far as ONGC is concerned. It's highly undervalued. I think just because of the kind of run-up they have seen, there might be some amount of correction and that would be a better entry point. So book partial profit.
Book partial profits when it comes to ONGC as well as NTPC, and that's the view coming in from Rajesh. Dhwani, I'm going to come back to you because Ashish Sharma from Jabalpur is writing to us about NHPC, and he has 2,000 shares purchased at a price of 101 that he got for 2 months. So his outlook is for the same time period, that is 2 months. What are the kind of levels that you're looking at here?
Definitely, the stock has seen a certain beat up after his buying, and we are seeing that since the early August 24, we are not seeing much of a momentum coming in over here. As of now, I would suggest we can hold on to it. Given any bounce that he sees around 105, 106 levels, that is a good exit for this one. Stop loss that he needs to keep on lower side over here is going to be of 95.
Queries from Tamaya from Bangalore. IREDA shares around 200. They have bought at a price of 260. It is around 23 rupees below the buying price at this moment. They want to know what should they do with this counter. Rajesh, what would be your view here for IREDA?
At any upside. See, the company is good there into renewable energy financing, but if you look at the valuation and compare to the peer stocks like PFC and REC, there is a huge gap in valuations. IREDA is trading at a huge premium to what it should be. I think it's just a fancy stock at this point of time rather than going by the fundamentals. The fundamentals are very strong, no doubt on that, but the valuations are stretched. Try to exit at higher levels.
Stretch valuations is something that Rajesh is flagging when it comes to IREDA, but the next query is coming in from a viewer named Ram, coming in from Tamil Nadu, and he's asking about Sun Pharma, and the buy price was 1,587 rupees, Dhwani, and 200 shares is what he has. So what kind of recommendation do you have? He's asking whether he should sell or hold at this point.
No, absolutely, it's a hold coming in. The stock is trading at its all-time high levels, and we are expecting that the momentum will continue further on the higher side from these levels as well. Intraday charts are also suggesting that the next up move is expected above 1840 levels. So I would suggest hold on to this one, and I would suggest a stop loss to be kept on the lower side around 1800 levels, and given 1840 crosses, we'll see 1900 coming in soon on this one.
The next query is from Neeraj, and he wants to know whether is it a good time and price to buy Voltas for short term. Dhwani, what would be your view here?
Yeah, absolutely. Voltas is definitely doing good in today's session as well. And again, it's one of the stocks that is into an uncharted territory, closing about over in the all-time highs over here. Hold on to this one, and I would suggest a target on the higher side coming in for 2000, and the stop loss that one needs to maintain over here is of 1720.
All right, thanks for that update coming in on Voltas, Dhwani. But I'm going to come back to you. We have a viewer named Gauri Gupta who's writing to us about Adani Enterprises, and her buy price is 2,680. So what kind of recommendation do you have? Because she's asking if she should hold or sell at this point.
I would suggest hold on to it. Definitely the stock is showing a certain sluggish behavior over here. But then the point to be noteworthy is on daily charts, we are not breaching below the 200 EMA, where it's taking up a good support over here. And from there, we are seeing bounces coming in this particular counter. So stop loss that one needs to maintain over here is going to be of 2980 on the higher side. Short-term basis, 3200 is achievable target.
Query is coming in from Siva. He has 30 shares of L&T Tech, bought at a price of 5,700. Can you please suggest the short-term view on this, Dhwani?
Yeah, talking about this one over here, I would suggest hold on to it, and targets on the higher side of 5,900 is expected.
All right, thanks, Dhwani, for that update coming in there. We also have a viewer who's writing to us, Vidya, who's writing to us about she's writing to us about CDSL as well as CESE. So what kind of target should she look at? And she also has 1,000 shares of Ircon International at an average price of 80 that she bought. So should she hold that for 3 to 4 years, Rajesh? And also CDSL and CESE, what is your view there?
We are hold from our side, and if I have to talk about CDSL, say even a buy, the kind of numbers they have been giving quarter on quarter, the number of new user addition, even the LIC insurance policy being dematted, all these things are very good business prospects for CDSL. One can go long on this. LIC again, it's highly undervalued when you compare to the private players. It's one of the largest insurance company with almost 60% market share, with all the new products being launched. Focus on more margin-based products. The AUM is even larger than the entire AUM of the mutual fund space. LIC is a good buy. And the third one was, what did you say?
CDSL, CESE as well as Ircon International is...
CESE is run up quite a lot when you compare, but when you compare with other companies of the same peer group, maybe a Tata Power or something of that sort, still highly undervalued. PE of around 12, 13 odd, I think it's a buy from our side. Ircon, one can try to book profit at these levels.
All right, thanks Rajesh for that opinion coming in there as well. Thank you so much Rajesh as well as Dhwani for joining us today. But with that, we're completely out of time on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. For me, Shreyansi Singh, Soumit Sarkar, as well as the entire team that put this show together, thank you so much for tuning in. Markets at Noon takes all of the action forward, so don't go anywhere.